Hello everyone and welcome to the April reading wrap up. It's been April, it's been another good reading month if I do say so, and I'm just going to get straight into it. So the statistics for the month, let's put my wrap up page on screen here. I need to sneeze. It is spring. Spring is springing, guys. I'm really warm again. God, I look like I'm like crying. Anyway, yeah, it's definitely spring. So April, I read 5 books, which, as I have been saying every month this year, is my goal to average 5 or more books, which I have done, but sort of I haven't. I'll get into that in a minute. I sort of have. Might count as 4 in some people's heads, but in my head it is 5. Anyway, so I've read 5 books, 2,159 pages, and I listened to 30.48 hours of an audiobook. So that's the main statistics. A bit more into detail here. The average rating was a 4.35 stars, which is very good. I love averaging above a 4, which, you know, 4 is sort of the point where I'm like, I liked this book. 4 and under is like, it's good. 3 is like, it's bad. So if it's in between a 3 and a 4, 3.25, 3.5 and 3.75, that still means I like it. But a 4 is the point where I'm like, this was good. So 4.35 is good. And then all my books are again 100% fiction. I'm going to try and read a memoir sometime this year. It's just not been happening. I've been wanting to read other genres, like I want all fiction at the moment, which, you know, a time will come where I want to read some non-fiction. But 4 out of 5 books I read were romance, 2 out of the 5 were contemporary, and 2 out of the 5 were fantasy. So, pie charts. I love doing pie chart. I think I've been addicted to pie charts for longer than I think. I've literally, Storygraph, my favourite bit of Storygraph, which if you don't know, it is the reading app. It's sort of like Goodreads, but in my opinion it's better. It's got the graphs. I love it. So my own graphs in my reading diary, which I've drew. The format was 40% digital, 40% print and 20% audio. Very good variety there. Mainly print and digital, but we had one audio book. And then 60% of my books were 500 or more, and 40% were 300 to 500. So that is amazing. We've mainly got long books, which was very good. That's what I like to see. Let's get into the books now. Now the first book here is where I'm sort of debating if it's 4 books or 5 books. So I read Iron Flame, but I also listened to it at the same time. Now, I'd normally count that just as an audiobook, but this month I couldn't put the page count on the audiobook, which I'm not sure why. It might be a Storygraph thing, but on there I couldn't categorise the audiobook with the page count on there. The page count just didn't add up to the book. It would change where I am in the book if I, you know, put the page count. So I thought, okay, I'll classify it as 2 separate books, which I didn't want to do at first, but now thinking back, it sort of makes sense because I listened to it and read it. I didn't like just listen to it and I didn't just read it physically. So that's where I'm sort of debating if it counts as 1 or 2, but I am counting it as 2. And that book I rated at 4 stars. It was pretty good. Obviously most people don't really like this one. They say it's sort of like the book in between that's just not very good, but I didn't mind it. It wasn't bad. That's obviously 4 is a good rating, but yeah, I'm excited to see about Onyx Storm whenever that comes out in paperback. Not sure when that'll be, but I'm definitely going to read it. I think that'll be the last one. Is it trilogy or is it going to be longer? I think it's going to be longer. I don't know, we'll figure that out soon. But that was the first book I read, and the next book I read was Enchantress by Kaylee Smith. I don't know why I had to mention that. It's by Kaylee Smith, and it was a new release, and I got it on, I think I got it before release day by accident in Waterstones. It might have been release day or it might have been before. It might have been the day of, exactly. But I did get that in Morton, and I ended up rating it at 5 stars. This book is book 2 in Phantasma. I don't really know what the series is called. Has it got a series name? I'm not sure, but it's after Enchantra, and it follows the main character of Phantasma. It follows her sister, and I must say, absolutely loved this book. I think I figured out that my go-to fantasy is Gothic, which I didn't think that would sort of be like that. But yeah, I'm just looking at it on my shelf. I didn't have Phantasma physically. I read it on my Kindle originally, so I didn't have it physically. But I read Enchantra physically though. I don't think I read it. Oh no, I think I did read it on my Kindle. But anyway, not about format here. I think I read it on my. You know what? It doesn't matter, Bonnie. Why are you getting so invested in what format it was? The book was just amazing, so that is 5 stars. Next, I want to another new release. I've been smashing out the new releases because there has been so many new releases coming out in April and May. Those are the 2 best months for new releases. But obviously some new releases come out in hardback. So this was a new release that obviously came out in paperback, and that was Wild and Wrangled by Live Sage. It was the final Rebel Blue Ranch series book. It was the last book of the series. I rated it a 4.25. It was good. I don't know what my least favourite was, but I think my ranking matches Larry. If you don't know Larry, she's obviously. Why do you not know Larry? Anyway, it goes Lost and Lassoed, which was book 3, Wild and Wrangled, book 4, Swift and Saddled, and then Done and Dusted. That's my rating of the series. But yes, I thought that was a really good ending to the series because this couple has been hinted to throughout the series, and I will not lie, originally I thought, no, I can't say this out loud, this sounds so bad. Honestly, I must have not been paying attention because in one book I thought they were mother and son. Let's just let that set in. No, what is wrong with me? I don't know why I thought that. And then when I saw that this book would be about them, I was like, wait, I'm so stupid sometimes. I'm like, what? Why did I think that? Anyway, 4.25, very good ending to the series, and yeah, ended up being my second favourite of the whole series. So I love that. And then finally, onto the last book, I read God of Wrath. I wanted to go slow with the Legacy of God series because obviously last month I started the series and went into the first 2, so I think I'm going to try and slow down as I only read 1 last month, so I'm probably going to do 2 again this month if I really want to. I'm not sure, but I've got all of them now on my Kindle. I was slowly getting them whenever the prices would go down because they used to be like $5.99 or something, but I've bought all of them now. They were either 99p or £2.99, so, you know, thought I'd take that deal. So I've got all of them now ready on my Kindle to read whenever I want. But I rated God of Wrath a 4.5. Very good, I must say. Honestly, people say this book is one of their favourites, and I can see why. I honestly still prefer God of Malice, but that might just be because it was the first one and I didn't know what to expect. But with this, wow. It was sort of like a love triangle sort of situation in there, and I was like, oh, why am I loving this so much? Reading these books have sort of been a bit like, why am I liking this? Because obviously they're very dark, but I do, and I really do enjoy this series, and I think I've got 3 left? 3 left, I think, now. Yeah, God of Ruin, God of Fury, ow, just flicked myself. God of Ruin, Fury and Pain. I think those are the last 3. So I'm halfway through the series now. And yeah, I'm very excited to get to them. But yeah, that was it. That's every book I've read in April. So I also did buy some more books. Physical books. Because as I mentioned, I did buy Phantasma and Enchantra. But I bought 4. So I'm counting these 4 because another thing, I did buy another one, but I didn't buy it, so I got it from someone. So I'm only counting the ones I've bought myself, and I can see it on the list of my bank. So that's how I remember what ones I've bought. Because sometimes I forget that I've bought books and think, oh, did I buy that? this month, you know, so that's how I check. And I bought 4, that being Phantasma, Enchantra, Riding the High, that's it, the new release, the new cowboy one, which I was trying to remember that name. Anyway, and The Prisoner's Throne. That one I knew when it would come out in paperback I'd want to buy it, because if you didn't know, this channel sort of start, I think that's where, okay, I'm waffling on now, but what's it called? The Cruel Prince, that's it. That series was my most anticipated series last year, and I sort of count that as the start of my YouTube, where I sort of like enjoyed doing that. So I knew I'd want to wait before starting the sort of series after that. So I think it's a duology, actually. I want to start Stolen Heir and The Prisoner's Throne. I knew I'd want to start that when I've got The Prisoner's Throne in paperback, because it came out last year in hardback. I think it came out last year, I might be wrong, but yeah, I've got the duology now, so I'm definitely gonna try and get to that this month, maybe next, whenever I get around to it. But yeah, I bought 4 books myself. So we're sort of doing okay with buying books. I'm doing it a bit more often than I should. I didn't buy any physically last month. I just bought them on my Kindle. For saying that, I don't count that. I don't know why, I just don't count that, but I just don't. But yeah. But I've already read Enchantra and Phantasma, and I'm going to read Riding the High probably after the one I'm reading now, and The Prisoner's Throne, I'll get to it probably next month. So it's fine. I'm, you know, giving myself reasons to buy books. Shouldn't do that. I need to stop. I honestly might have to do a video where I like have to read as many physical books as I can, because I don't know, I've had some of these books on my shelf for ages and I just haven't read them. Terrible. But anyway, that has been my April wrap up. Thanks so much for joining me. I just realised, doesn't matter, I'm waffling. I have a bit of a cold as well, by the way, if you haven't been able to tell. I thought it was hay fever at first, which I sort of have been saying it's hay. Oh, Bonnie, why am I waffling on today? I really am waffling on today. It's a waffling day, but we're like almost halfway through the year now. It's May. Next month we'll be halfway through. And with my reading goals, by the way, I'm still ahead. I'm ahead by like 4 books and about 2,000 pages. So we're definitely on a roll with the reading goal. That rhymed. Whoa. But yeah, I'll see you in the next reading wrap up. But before then, go check me out on TikTok, Instagram. Is there any others? Instagram, TikTok, and Storygraph. There you go. If you want to see more up-to-date reading on there, I literally go on there every day to update what I've read, if I have read, that is. So yeah, go check me out on all those things. Always linked down below. You can go check them out. I've been loving doing my short form content on Reels and Shorts on here, on YouTube, and obviously TikToks. So if you have any other ideas for them sort of videos, I always like hearing recommendations of what to do for them. But yeah, I really have waffled on a lot today, but I'll finally leave you. So thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment down below any short form ideas. I really do love asking about that every time. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and bye.